I grew up very stereotypically, man. I didn't play basketball, football. I grew up playing ping pong. Competitively. That was a serious national sport back home, man. You know, I didn't go to any like fun summer camp, space camp. My dad sent me to a ping pong training camp in Guangzhou, China. I almost died. It was 100 kids competing for one spot on the national team. It was basically Fortnite with ping pong paddles. We took that seriously though. My dad would take me to every practice, every tournament game, and he always tried to give me a pep talk before every game. But you know Asian parents, they're way too honest. So every pep talk just turned into an insult. Like he would come up to me and be like, Jimmy, you're going to play well, okay? Even though you're slow, even though you're weak, and you suck. And then he would just walk away. I was very good at math. That's a big Asian stereotype. I think there's some truth to that. Not because of some weird genetic thing, just because our parents care so much more about mathematics and academics, right? You guys seen it? You guys seen those like Kumon learning centers in those strip malls, right? Right? Kumon learning centers, for you guys that don't know, are basically detention camps for young Asian children. You can tell that place is kind of f***ed up by the look of its logo. Because it's supposed to be a smiley face, but it's not really smiling. It's just like, man. My parents were way too cheap to send me to Kumon. They got a different strategy. They never let me use a calculator until I turned 15, so I can work on my brain function. That's an old school Chinese strategy. You know, so when I turned 15, it was a very special occasion. It was basically my quinceañera. My dad just gave me a TI 83 plus. And he looked me in the eyes, and he was like, you're a woman now, okay? But when you're a kid, when your parents tell you can't do something, what do? You rebel, right? So when I was 14 years old, I stole my brother's calculator. I stole Roy Rogers' calculator. And I locked myself in my room, and I started rebelling. I started doing math homework. Other kids were like around with like alcohol and drugs. I was up some problems, you know? Locked myself in a room. I was just punching in numbers. I was like, oh man, this feels great, you know? It's so wrong. It's awesome. My dad was pissed. He was knocking on the other side of the door. He doesn't like locked doors in the house. And he was screaming. He was like, Jimmy, what are you doing inside? Come out right now. I know you're using a calculator. Come out right now. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. And he unlocked the door and he came in. I went into full panic mode, so I just threw away the calculator and I pulled out my pants. I was like, Dad, I was just jerking off. And he came in and he looked at me and then he looked at the math homework. And he was like, good, very good, very good. Very good. You must have really liked math. That's good. That's good. Keep it up. Because there's nothing that will make your Asian father more proud than to see his son jerk off to his math homework.
My dad's here tonight. Give it up for my dad. He's in the house. My daddy-o. My dad's so cool. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my dad. My dad is like Mr. Cool Guy, like life of the party, you know what I mean? Like super athletic, like really into sports. Like my dad's the kind of guy who watches a boxing match on TV as if he is in the boxing match on TV. You know what I mean? Like he'll watch it like this. It's like, whoa, Dad, are you winning? He got us involved in sports when we were younger, but not like the legit way. Only if it was free to sign up and you got a free t-shirt to play. Because if you had to pay for a uniform, forget it, you can't be on that team. For instance, I ran track and field growing up, but I wasn't on a track team. My dad would just take me to the track meets on Saturday morning and sign me up. I was the only one with my number on binder paper. It would look like this. Lane 1, Lincoln High School, blue and gold. Lane 2, Gunderson High School, brown and gold. Lane 3, Anjelah. And some jeans, a t-shirt, and a pair of flip-flops. I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't trained properly. Everybody else is lined up and they're professional, like, I'm a runner, this is how you start, position, except for me, because I was up there like this. Everybody on the side is telling me, like, get down in the position. I'm like, why? Why I'm gonna get down? I gotta get back up to start running. I wasn't trained properly. Sure enough, the race starts, the gun goes off, everybody takes off running, except for me. I'm hiding. I thought it was a drive-by. I don't know what's happening. I was really into wrestling growing up. WWF. Right? Before it was WWE. You know what I mean? Like some old school wrestling, like some Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Ultimate Warrior, Roddy Piper, $1 Million Man, Tugboat, Earthquake, Demolition Bushwhacker. I was 7 years old into wrestling, right? You know when a kid does something good in school, you give him like a toy or a prize or something, right? Well, I'm 7. I got good grades one time. And my dad surprised me with tickets to go see WWF at the arena. It was the best day in all the 7 years I had lived up to that point. It was so cool. Me, my sister, and my dad went to the arena. My mom painted our faces like Legion of Doom. We walked into that arena like we were Legion of Doom. Like they're gonna tag team us in accidentally. You know, the wrestlers come out, right? And they run to the ring and everybody's trying to get a high five from the wrestler. Well, I'm the littlest one trying to get a high five, talking about, I saw Jim Duggan! I saw Jim Duggan! Right here! Right here! Right here! But he didn't see me.
I didn't know we were broke, man. I didn't know we were broke until I was about like 13. That's when the reveal happened. Because I volunteered at a neighborhood food drive, and one of the bags was for my family. Imagine my surprise. I showed up, I was like, who are we helping today? They're like, help yourself, Gina, grab a bag, get out of here. We had a good time growing up, though, man. We always had a lot of dogs in my house because my grandmother would always pick up stray dogs, which became my attitude towards men. That's right. I see some guy wandering the street. I'm like, are you lost, buddy? Huh? Are you lost? You want to come home with me? Huh? I have bacon at my house. We fed our dogs rice and beans just like us. The dogs would look at us like, damn, are we broke too? Like, what's going on? What's going on with this situation? One thing was great, we had to be creative. Like me and my siblings, when we would play games, we had to play broke people games. Yeah, I see some of y'all chuckling. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Broke people games are games that don't require toys or money. You just had to be creative. Right, like we had this one game we used to play called Adventure. It was just us walking around a tree. You had to hold on to the tree because if your foot touched the floor, you were out. That was the adventure part. Played another game called Paperball. You crumble up a paper, you throw it to somebody, you got to keep it in the air because if it hits the floor, you're out. The floor was an integral part of many broke people games. Which is why The Floor is Lava is a historically broke person game. Some of these games are passed down from broke generation to broke generation. The Floor is Lava is one of those games. If you played The Floor is Lava and you had money, you were appropriating broke culture, and we don't appreciate that. Go to a theme park, you got the money. Why you gotta take from us? We weren't broke forever. I feel like people always panic when I say that we were broke. We weren't broke forever. My parents are Latinos. They worked really hard to get us out of that situation. You know, we went from broke to, okay, we doing all right, to, oh, we got some money now. Then back down to, okay, we doing all right. Because when broke people get money, they don't know what to spend it on. You spend it on your fantasies. We got a little bit of money, and my dad bought a boat. We lived in the South Bronx. Where shall we sail, Papa? Shall we follow the pissy smell to the Isle of Manhattan? Let us away to sail.
Who's a parent here got a kid in school having a hard time? Can't figure out what to do. I'll help you out. I'll help you out. Anybody? What's wrong? Shout it out. What are they doing? What won't he do? He won't do homework? That's easy. He ain't doing homework? Taking them to one of the vacant buildings. This where you gonna live. You can't read or write. That's where you live. I'll see you tomorrow. When you hang in there. You can't go home nowhere. You can't read the street signs. Mom! Tough love. Sometimes you gotta do tough love. We forgot. Tough love don't mean beating a child. I ain't talking about beating. Every time you talk about whooping a child, it's not wrong. It's wrong to whoop a child. Look, you ain't never been whooped. The whooping is psychological. Whooping don't even hurt that much as my father. Oh boy, he's doing all that noise. Oh, I'm like, okay. That's why I can tell a young man doesn't have a father. You ain't never feared nobody. See, when you don't ever fear a man, you can tell a dude, you disrespect me, you disrespect me. Oh, I've been disrespected most of my life. I had a father, he had no respect. Get up, I ain't dressed yet, get. You tired? No, sir, no, sir. You act like you're tired. No, I'm just having some issues. See, as a man, if you ain't never backed down away from a man, you don't know what it's like to back off a man. You gotta know when to back up. That's why these kids getting shot. You gotta know when someone's more dangerous than you. And that's what fathers teach you. Oh, are you standing up to me? No, sometimes I stand up because my back. You can't fight everybody. There are certain people, and we all know, every man here knows, there's always one dude, was that cat, the most dangerous. There is a most dangerous man, woman in every neighborhood that everybody goes like this. Man, he stole my bike. Just let that. And see, when a dangerous dude steal your bike, he ride by you. Get on, you want to ride? It's my bike. What? It's my bike. This is your bike? Wait, hold, let me look at it. Oh no, my handlebar is different. You actually know when to back up off people, man. See, crazy people don't say they're crazy before they hurt you. People say, man, I'm crazy, man, I'll kill you. I'm crazy. Crazy people stand there. And when you have money, you go to a different kind of drug treatment center. When you have money, you go camping, and you hike, and you swim it out. You swim the crack out. You swim it out. You sit in circles. What'd you do today? We went on the mountain. I don't need drugs. I went on the mountain, and I saw birds. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. You ever been to the inner city drug rehab? What you got to say, John? I ain't got nothing to say. I ain't supposed to be here in the first place. This is court ordered. You know what? Before reality shows, Crazy folks in your family used to hide. Remember? Since reality show, you need to put me on. You need to put me on.
My dad kicked me out. I don't know if you've ever been kicked out by your parents, but that's one of the first moments in life when you just realize what you don't have. You know, all I did have was an attitude. I'm in the room with my attitude, packing up all my video games and all my clothes in a suitcase. Then I hear a voice from the other room, "Don't touch my suitcase." Where am I supposed to put my belongings? You know how depressing that is? You walking down the street with all your shit in a trash bag with a rip at the bottom. I'm looking inside every car, hoping I recognize someone that could change my life and save me. I'm like, is that Jonathan's mom from 7th grade? Maybe I could live with them. And it wasn't even that my dad kicked me out. It was how he did it. My dad kicked me out on Father's Day. Like it was a gift to himself or something. You know, my mother, I don't even get her, overly encouraging. 4 years ago, she quit her job, 0 savings. She said, Jesus is gonna pay her bills. I stand in front of you 4 years later. My mother has 0 debt. She made me a believer because I found out that I'm Jesus. Mothers prepare you all different, you know? Like when I lived with my dad, he kicked me out. I don't feel like single moms kick you out like that. You know, I feel like a lot of times you just leave on your own one day because you just get tired of their mouth. One day you like, dang, Ma, all you do is nag and complain, Ma. All you do is tell me what to do. I'm leaving to find me a wife. See how she was preparing you? You didn't even know? Right? I got homeboys that don't date women with kids, which I don't understand, because it changed my life. I never thought I could have such a deep love for this child support check. Every other Thursday, me and Stepman wait outside by the mailbox. I got this new number I do with my hand for the mail lady. I go. She hands me the check. Because that's how Stepman and I bond. We buy stuff with the child support check, you know? It's not a lot of money, but we get to spend time together, you know? My close homeboys, they don't even know. They just know the stuff. They're like, dude, where you get them pants? I'll be like, my baby daddy. You need to get you one, Playboy. This could be you.
When I told my dad I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, he wasn't very enthused. At the suggestion, I was like, Dad, I've decided I'm gonna leave the family business to be a stand-up comedian. He's like, oh, you want to become a clown? It's like, no, Dad, stand-up comedian. Oh, you're going to stand up and be a clown. Great. Great. No, I'm like, no, Dad. He's like, no, he called my mom. Yeah, come say hi to your son, the clown, come. She was like, he's your son too. He's like, I don't have a son. He's dying. You don't understand the dedication. For like 8 years, he bought a horn every time I would come to the house. Everybody! The clown is here. Open the door for his big show. Everybody! Until last year, I made it on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. He's like, this is my son, the comedian. I always told him, follow your dreams. And he can't even pronounce it correctly. He's like, and now he's on the cover of Throwing Stones. I'm like, Dad, that's the ISIS magazine. That's a different publication, Father. I want people to come to where I grew up and experience the glory of the Lebanese father. They'll have the same phone for like 15 years. They're proud. You get a new phone, look at you, and I have this phone for 15 years. 15 years, look how good it is. Hello? Hello? Charge it, it's dead, the battery. Never forgot, I got my dad an iPhone a few years ago. Got him an iPhone for his birthday, I was so excited. I give him the phone, he looks at it, he's like, you got me a mirror? Like, no, Dad, it's a phone. Really? Really? No, but what do I shout at it? What do I do? Like, no, Dad, it's a touch phone. You touch the phone. He's like, he throws the phone. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, 33 years, I touched no one but your mother. Now you want me? Like, Dad, it's a touch. I show him how to use it. He was so amazed. He's like, these Americans. It's made in China, but sure, okay, what? I teach him how to use the phone. We go through the ritual, which I think is universal, where you have to help your parents choose the ringtone. It takes about 2.5 to 3 hours on average. Cycle through go back. No, this one was good. Oof, this is nice. Oof, here, do you remember this song? Can we put it on CD? I like this, put in the car. Until we finally decide on the default ringtone that comes with the iPhone. But it's okay. I won't have to do this for another 30, 40 years. It's fine. He's my dad. What's important is he's happy. I leave the house, I get in my car, I'm driving away. I'm like, you know what, I want to call my dad. First phone call. So I pick up the phone, I call him, it rings, no answer. As an Arab, if you call a loved one and they don't answer, they're dead. This is what it means. It's not our fault, it's our moms. They overreact. Let me call my son. He was such a good boy. Start wearing black. You come back home, hello mama, I will kill you. But I was like, Nemr, push down the Arab side, bring up the American. Relax, you got this. I waited like 10 minutes, called him again. He didn't answer. Now he's dead. There's no way. That's it. There's no possible reaction. There's no other. So I start driving back to my dad's house, calling constantly, ringing. In my mind, I'm like, what do I do? My mom wasn't in the country. I was like, do I tell mom dad's dead? I get to my dad's house. I get in front of the door and I'm like, Nemr, every guy has to go through this. Be a man, you'll mourn later. I put in the key, took a deep breath. I opened the door and I saw my dad standing in the hallway, just sweating from head to toe, holding the phone. I'm like, Dad, why aren't you answering? He's like, what is this piece of death? Like, what's wrong? He's like, it tells me slide to answer. I'm doing this and this and this. What am I, Michael Jackson? Just lost it.
My parents are really nice. They're both college professors, and I don't know if you know college professors, but they're very educated. They have PhDs. They went to school a long time, worked really hard. Some of the smartest people I've ever met, and they make about as much money as a Walmart employee. It's this weird irony, but they don't care. That's the funniest part about college professors. They're so smart, they're simple. Like my mom, I'll give you an example. My mom, so smart, she's simple. 6'1", purple sweatpants, doesn't give a shit, you know? And I'll call her sometimes, freaking out. I'm like, Mom, have you seen the news? There's a war, the world's going crazy. She's just like, tend your garden. No one can take that from you. And I'm like, what? She's like, grow something and be proud of it. And she's right, all the problems just melt away when you just start weeding the rhubarb, you know, just get dirty. Sometimes I'll call her depressed. I'm like, Mom, I'm so depressed. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. She's like, have you been drinking water? I'm like, no. She's like, you're probably dehydrated. I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't understand. She goes, no, Owen, you don't understand. You need to drink at least 150 ounces of water a day. Do that and call me in a few days. So I do that. I just start pounding water. And then I call her. I'm like, Mom, the world's awesome. And I just peed. It was like a 3-minute mini orgasm. What's up with that? She's like, I know, right? My mom came out to visit me in LA. She loves LA too. And she just loves organic food. She loves it. She gets so excited. And we go to Target because I need to get more adult stuff, you know. like dryer sheets. Because apparently the towels need more stuff. A little high maintenance, these towels. But we go there, I also need other stuff. So she goes up to some employee just randomly. She just goes, "Hi." And the guy looks at her like puzzled, just like, "Hi." Because he's not used to just being said hi to. Usually they're like, "Where," you know. And so she just starts talking, because this is her nature. She's just very friendly. She's like, "My son, Owen, his light bulb burned out, and instead of getting another one, he's been moving one from lamp to lamp." And she thinks the dude's gonna like laugh with her, and he doesn't. He just like looks at her. He's not mad, he's just confused. Like, "What do you want from me, lady? You want a new bulb, a new lamp, a new sun? I don't know what you need." And so finally he just goes, "Aisle 8," and walked away. And my mom's bulletproof. She's just chosen to be happy. So she's just like, "What a nice young man." And I'm like, "No, Mom, I'm gonna flick him in the throat. Stay right here, I'll be right back. There's consequences. He should have laughed at your funny joke." My dad's funny. He's a public speech professor, rhetoric, sings opera, a lot of colorful bathrobes. He had a stutter as a kid. He couldn't talk. He had so much anxiety with speech. It's almost like the Batman story. Like Batman was scared of bats, so he became a bat. Like my dad had such a fear of talking that he is now the most extroverted human being I've ever seen in my life, to the point of like ridiculous. Like he's flamboyant. He's a very fruity man. Like I didn't understand it when I was young, you know? He'd go into like Walmart or something and just be like, out of nowhere, just, "I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle. Here's the other handle. Oh my God, I'm a sugar bowl." And people would just start laughing. They'd be like, "Oh, John, you're terrible." He's like, "I've been wondering why they haven't been putting tea in me." Like, I'm like, and I'm a little kid. I'm like, "Stop, shut up, Dad." He's like, I'm embarrassed. He's like, "You're embarrassed." Ha! Like, you can't win with the dude, right? So I just learned how to deal with it. And then over time, I realized why he does it. Because it opens doors. It's a very powerful thing to do. Just to show everyone how much fun you're having. Opens doors. Like, I've seen him go into the DMV, right? It's the most depressing place in the world. It's like Mordor. It's just this horrible place. You know, just passive aggression to the max. And my dad, instead of saying, "Excuse me," he says, "Scusa moo." And I watch people's reaction. Like, he'd be like, "Scusa moo, if I was the line for my new driver's license, where would I be?" And the lady, like, it's like spring coming to her face. It's like her smile slowly starts, she's like, "Oh, John, you're terrible. You don't need to wait in line." He's like, "Oh," like, he just skipped a line. And I started figuring the dude out. I'm like, "You just skipped the line with "Scusa moo." I'm like, "That's genius." And people just love it. He's the one who showed me how, you know, divisions aren't really there. I remember one time we went into Burn Dairy in the middle of the winter, and it's snowing like crazy. And we go in to get a gallon of milk. And all these older ladies are talking about the weather. They're like, "It's coming tonight," you know? And one of them goes, "John, did you hear we might get 8 inches tonight?" And my dad goes, "Oh, Doris, don't you wish?" And they just exploded with laughter. These are women in their 80s, right? And I remember I was like, I don't know what that means, because I'm 5. But someday I'm gonna do that at Starbucks. Thank you. Thanks, guys.